Can you please tell me your name and when did you come to the UK? Where do you come from?
My name is Ashis Limbu, originally from Nepal. Came to UK at about 2006, somewhere around August, I think. Yeah.
Did you come on your own or with your family?
Came with my family. That's my mom, dad, and my sister. Yeah.
How did you find coming to the UK at the first time? Any experiences?
Actually, when I was a kid, when my dad would come from his holiday, he would have this picture of beautiful flowers everywhere, green parks everywhere, people, tourists around everywhere, and I sort of had a view like it's going to be like that. And then I landed in Whitechapel. And I tried to land in Whitechapel. I actually realized it wasn't as far away from my home actually, and it was like I expected it to be very clean. It wasn't that clean.
Yeah.
I expected it to be a lot of let's just say British people. It was more like Asian around there. Yeah, it was out of my expectation. It was nothing like my expectation at all. It was absolutely nothing like my expectation.
So you were expecting more, your challenge. How did you get any frustration then because of you didn't get?
I wasn't frustrated. I was sort of more. Okay, maybe I was expecting that. I was more surprised, but I sort of got that sort of little bit homely feeling. It was in a foreign land. I was scared. I was scared, to be totally honest with you. I wasn't able to speak English properly. When I came here in London, I realized they didn't speak English properly. You know how London youngsters speak with a little bit of swag, I must say. They spoke words that didn't have no meaning in English dictionary. It was a completely new world to me, but the fact that it sort of was a little bit like my home, where made me feel a little bit of, let's just say 10% little bit more confident.
What was your age when you came?
Probably about age of 17, I must say, 17, 18, I'm not sure, must be 17. Yeah, I was I struggled. When I first came home, we didn't have any computers or nothing like that. So if I was to use my internet, I would have to go to our local library. That would require me to walk for 30 minutes. And in that 30 minutes, I would practice what to say. I would say. I would walk all the way there and practice what to say, like, hello, hi, I'm here to use computer. Can I book a computer, please? And I would practice that all the way to the journey. Mainly because I guess my childhood was like I grew up in a hostel school, where you would be surrounded only by your friends. Any hardship, any torture that teachers would give us, we would be together no matter what. I always had my friend's back. Friend always had my back. All of that was missed. I was completely alone. I feel like I should have gone through some training phase before coming to UK just to help me out that outside world. Because living in a hostel, you become involved in that particular world. You have no idea of outside world, and being thrown out by that was very scary. But I'm glad I'm over it now.
Yeah. So, in the particular moment when you started your school, like 17, did you start school or college?
College. I went to college.
Can you tell me something about your college experiences?
Well, college experience was for me again very nerve-wracking. Went there. Really, it was in Stepney Green area, full with Bengalis. Very few. It was mostly Bengali. I met some friends there. Sort of went through a little bit of a religious phase, I must say. It was a school with constant debate about Christianity and Islam. I went, attended some of them. It was, let's just say I didn't like the experience. I didn't like the fact that you had to look for the. It's sort of, I feel like thinking about it now, it sort of made me narrow-minded. Didn't really open my eyes to so many other perspectives or point of views of life. But yeah, when I came to university, met some of my Nepalese friends. Got over that. I'm in a much happy place now compared to that.
So you are a university graduate.
Yes.
What sort of subject you did in your uni?
Studied electronic and electrical engineering. It was, let's just say, I had a lot of fun in uni.
So how did you get? Is it hard to get the university admission here, like studying in the UK student, or those coming from the international students?
There was a 1 year delay. I had to stay 1 year back so that I could become by law home students, which was for me I think better rather than straight jumping into university. That's when I started. I did GCSE English then. I really enjoyed GCSE English. I guess if I had studied GCSE English, I would have studied more of English from there rather than engineering that I went into. The reason I went to engineering was the whole technology just swept me over. Nepal, as you might know, not much technically advanced. When I came into UK, we still didn't have a proper internet. We didn't have Wi-Fi. We didn't have mobile phones. Mobile phone was a new gadget. If you had one, you would probably get a lot of girls. But sadly, I didn't have one. And yeah, that sort of technology sort of went into me, and then I thought maybe I could be a part of that. Which was the reason why I studied engineering.
So are you still working as an engineer, or you are doing what sort of? Can you tell me something about your job, if you don't mind?
No, I don't mind. As it happens, engineering was good, but I didn't really. I guess the passion really was not there. It was a curiosity that led me into it. I wouldn't say the passion was there. So yeah, currently I'm working as a security officer. It's sort of a relaxed job, I guess say. You don't have any deadlines to worry about. You don't have any stress. You just stand there trying to protect people. People don't like the fact that you're protecting them. Perhaps people feel like they are being treated like a child, making them show their pass all the time. But it makes my job, for me, all my friends find it annoying, but I find it fun, because when people start acting like a kid, trying to show me their bus pass and running away and stuff like that, it makes my job a little bit more fun, I guess.
What exactly your passion is then?
My passion has got to be about animal welfare. I want to go into that section. I haven't really started how. I haven't really thought about how. When will I start doing it? How will I do it? That still is a mystery to me. But I want to go into that field when I'm more financially stable, when I'm more able to say like, okay, right, I've done my job as a son, as a maybe father in the future later on. Yeah, I want to go into that maybe when I'm more stable, I guess.
Yeah. Did you ever regret choosing the engineering? Rather, you have to go long years ago in that particular your passion.
Regret in a sense that I had no passion at that moment. I wasn't introduced to the animal welfare passion as much. I had interest in animals, but it wasn't a passion. Passion came around when I finished my uni. It was I went to this sort of, my mom being religious, she said, after you pass, you can if you need to go to this temple, if you want to get a good job and stuff like that. I went up there, climbed the mountain, which was about 20 feet above the ocean. I guess didn't really enjoy that, but just that sort of that temple visit sort of introduced me to animal welfare, animal care. To be honest,
As a Ashis Limbu, how much you are into religion or religious belief?
I respect the religion aspect of it. Am I religious? Maybe a little bit. I don't know if religious is described as believing in God, or is it described as rule written by the book. I don't know. If it's described as a rule written by a book, then I guess I'm not religious. But if it's described as believing in God, then I guess I am religious. That is my point of view.
As a Limbu, do you have any your particular sort of things you guys do worship and?
As a Limbu, yes, we have our own religions. Probably described by a book called Mungdum. What sort of religious tribunal that goes into it, I'm not sure about that. But as a child, you would often see a priest that some sort of have a natural superpowers in them. It's scary. As a child, they say that something is possessed into them, and they start to, let's just say, shake and vibrate a lot. And then they sort of guide you through. I think it's more about natural spirits and stuff like that. I'm not really I don't really know much about that. Sorry.
So you came to the UK when you were 17 years old. How often you visit back to your home country?
I went back to Nepal in the 6 years times. I went there at 3 times, I guess. 3 times. Yeah. Really love visiting back there, mainly because you get to eat the food. Your family is there. You often realize that Nepalese are messed up, but you kind of like that mess because it is your mess. If you know what I mean. You don't see that, like in UK you see a certain has to be at this time, has to be done this particular way. If there's no queue, people are going to get frustrated. Nepal is more chilled, and it doesn't really matter. Nepalese people are more relaxed in a sense that they don't really care as much. I guess it's just how nature has nurtures them. It's like people living in hardship, like, there's a landslide. Oh, there's a landslide there. It's not affecting my house. Yeah, it's just there. It doesn't matter. I don't have to run. And the stone is falling down. Oh, I can just move back 2-3 steps back. You don't go miss me. Doesn't matter. You move on. But here, health and safety would probably take you miles and miles away from the actual location. I like that. I like that chilled personality, I guess.
You like chilled personality. Do you have any? Often you meet your own generation, your own community. Any kind of experiences?
Yeah, my generation. I often realize girls are more ambitious compared to guys. Guys are often more laid back, bit like me. And I have a theory as in why Nepalese guys are more laid back. The theory, I guess most people that I meet are from the Gurkhas family. Often the dads are away from them as a child, and I guess they miss that male dominant figure to be motivated to be something bigger person. While moms can be, I'm not saying women can't be. Women can be that idol if they want to, but most often Nepalese moms are more home oriented. They're more focused on raising up a child rather than a career. So I guess it's the dad figure that sort of don't make Nepalese guys think about the career aspect as much as it should have.
Do you believe in arranged marriage or love marriage?
To be honest with you, I feel like I'm lucky. I'm lucky in the sense that arranged marriage is a good part. Mainly because that stress, that stress about finding a girl, I must say, as a young guy, is sort of sorted out by my parents. If you know what I mean. But however, if a person falls in love, they should not. Our culture should allow them to get married, and there should not be any pressure about, oh yeah, you have to be arranged marriage. It should not. It should not be like that. But as a shy guy who finds it difficult to get a girl, who finds it really hard to express himself in front of a girl. Often the guys who like to talk a lot, who are confident, are the ones who get the girls. But the shy guys like me, who kind of find it difficult to talk with girls, are often looked at as, look at that guy, he's rubbish. But in the sense, it could be he finds it difficult to express himself. Doesn't mean that he's not romantic. It just means that the first approach is hard. And yeah, but it doesn't mean that I'm a Nepali, so my future wife is sorted. Let's just say that.
So you never know, you might fall in love with someone. Do you ever come across with any kind of it's not actually love, how to say, any crush with any other international girl, like other communities? I'm talking in the particularly UK perspectives.
Not yet, but not yet. I haven't really fancied anyone outside my thing yet. But yeah, I'm open. Yes.
So how did you find living in the UK, and like already you mentioned, how did you find compared to Nepal's system and UK's system, the education system wise?
Education system wise, I didn't study high school here yet. I didn't study my GCSE here, but looking at my brothers and sisters, the practical aspect of what they do is actually really good. I myself studied GCSE English. I really enjoyed it. But when I was I studied hostel in India. When I was in India, I really disliked it. What was the reason why I enjoyed English? Studying English at GCSE here was the practical side of it, about how teachers were passionate about portraying their subject to you. I went to theaters. I saw, that was the first time in my life I went to theaters, saw a Shakespeare play. They made me think outside the box. They respected every judgment I made, every idea I had. They respected it. But back in home, it was more like it's teacher's way or highway. You have to respect the fact that teachers says this, and that is right. There is no point of you trying to say that is wrong. I guess if you motivate someone in their belief, like, oh, this way, I think, like for example, if certain aspect was a hero and I think that's not a hero, and I give you my reason, and if it was sort of like funny or a little bit weak, they would laugh you out and say, what are you on about? Just go away. But here they would respect that aspect of it. But as long as memorizing aspect goes, is like, I guess memorizing helps everywhere in studying wise, but I think sometimes you got to think outside the box. That is something lacking behind in my country, I feel.
Any other, apart from that, any sweet memories, your childhood sweet memories?
Childhood sweet memories. In the boarding school, in the hostel, you have friends, so you sort of come up with mischiefs here and there. You have teachers to worry about. If you want to listen to a story, if you want to listen to a long story about what I did as a kid, was the fact like I had my revenge on a teacher. I feel bad thinking about it now, but as a child, it was a sort of adventure. A teacher came and sort of whacked me for no reason. It was a reason in a sense, like when a teacher, there's a friend of mine, a junior, he came around and kicked me, and then so I kicked him back. Then I thought, hey, I'm a senior, so let me kick him again. So I kicked him back again, and a teacher came and charging towards me and started shouting and beating me, saying, why did you kick him? And I told him he kicked me first. And he said, yeah, I know, I saw him kicked him first. Then you kicked him again. So why do you want to kick him the second time, he said. And I was like, whoa, if you saw him kicking me first, you should be stopping him and punishing him. Why are you waiting for me to kick him and then kick him again? That's was my question. And he said, shut up. So I wasn't happy with that, so I went to one of the owner of the school. I went to his office and I complained, and he didn't do anything about that either. So I thought I must do something. I had few rupees in my pocket, cheeky thing, and I knew for a fact that teacher loved his shoes. Oh my god, he loved his shoes. There was an incident where he bought one shoes for cheap 30 rupees, I guess, and he would sign it every night. Like, oh my god, he would spend 2 hours just signing the shoes. And I was like, right, I must have my revenge on. So I bought some super glues. And yeah, I had a friend. He was actually really brave guy. If he had the guts to go into the teacher's room and actually do whatever he feels like. But I didn't have that guts, so I told him, do you want to help me? At first he was like, nah, I can't do that, it's too risky. Then I told him, remember how he treated you once. Remember how he stole your shoes and stuff like that. And then he was like, okay, yeah. And I motivated him, and then he did that trick for me. And next thing in the morning, I was sleeping. What is happening over here? Who stuck my shoes? And he started shouting, yelling. I was laughing. I think that for me was the sweetest experience.
That was indeed a very sweet memory. Do you know that in London, especially the teenage people, they do have a gang and a fight groups kind of gang. Do you have any your teenage age studying in the UK? Any that kind of experience in your late age?
No, I had zero experience in gang, mainly because I was struggling to speak language. I was struggling with the cultural aspect of it. I didn't really have the time or really anything to go do with gangs, and yeah, that was it. My point of view on gangs would be it's wrong. People should not be doing this gang fight, but then again, I always think like there is a deeper knowledge, deeper aspect as to why they go into this. It could be I don't know how common it is, but here often parents are split up. You have child going from one place to another, as well one area they do not have the strong family foundation to support them. They go into violence, and I think it's got to do with that. But gang is wrong, but I wouldn't really judge the other gangster because I don't know how he or she is brought up. So that's my point of view of gangs.
Ashis, you do some stage show as well, isn't it?
I hosted. I did a little bit of hosting aspect of it. Yes, it wasn't. It was just a hosting. Yeah.
Can you please share your experience? Any kind of wonderful memories?
I did hosting mainly because I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to come out of this set and say that yes, I can do public speaking. My experience would be I really enjoyed it. People always told me that I'm a funny guy. I don't know why. They said I could make people laugh, so I thought, let's give that a little bit of go. I went on the stage, did it a little bit, and then yeah, it was fun, but I don't think I would like to continue on hosting. That's my point of view.
And one thing I would like to point out, why we Asians, not Asians, I mean, why we are so much conscious about our English is not good, our English is not, we emphasis on that. Because we do speak lots of other than English. Why don't we have that kind of confidence? What is the reason?
I think the reason why people say their English is not good is because they come to England and you respect the fact that English people is their natural language, is what they speak since birth, and that is why they feel like they are sort of challenged. But the tone and the accent in which British people speak is a way out of thing that you've been introduced in Nepal. Nepal is sort of, I guess it's sort of more like Americanized, with all the Hollywood's movie being more famous than the British movies. They sort of get they sort of kind of understand, I think, American accent more than they can understand a British accent. And that's why when they come here and they see people speaking, especially in London, you see people speaking some accent, you sort of think, oh, I don't understand that, and that's what I think makes them feel like their English is being challenged a little bit. And I guess everyone learning Nepali, any British people learning Nepali would probably feel challenged when they go back to Nepal with the different accents. That's what I think.
But even English people, they do agree, like, but in terms of writing, we are much better than them. Sometimes they do in the workplace.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Writing wise, yes. Writing wise, we are taught. Nepalese people are taught, like back home, we are taught how to write since child. So, and there is no option for you to say I don't want to write English. You are sort of, it sort of becomes your daily life. But I think here the children, here teenagers, most likely not to study English. They're mostly, I don't know, they are not really into English. They sort of maybe go into different fields. That's a tough question to answer.
Yeah.
I guess.
So, in most of our parents, they prefer their children. They would be happy if you study engineering, doctors, kind of things. But in the future, like when you'll have your own children, looking into the next generation, what is your opinion would be?
My opinion would be to do whatever they want to do. To be honest with you, I wouldn't force them to study. I wouldn't force them to do, tell them to go a higher education, or it's just, I would teach them how to be a little bit ambitious, teach them how to think a little bit different. I wouldn't force them to be an accountant, engineer, doctor, or whatever. It's whatever their passion lies. I would help them, guide them to find a passion, and I guess if there's a passion, then you will be successful. That's what it's all about. It's not about what your parents want because of the cultural status or whatever. It causes them unnecessary stress, and I just want them to move on with what they want to do, with whatever aspect. And I can, as a parent, I could only motivate them and guide them.
So you are living with joint family. Do you have a grandparents? Do you have any grandparents?
I just have a grandmother here with, from my mother's side, living with us. Yes. If you want to know the struggle that she faces, it's very, very hard for her. I guess mainly because she can't speak the language. She can't walk around as much as she would like to. She's scared to go around because, she can't speak or think. So she sort of stayed in one home. She sort of stays in one home only. It's difficult for her, but I try my best. I take her out in the park whenever I can. I put musics for her, like traditional Limbu musics on YouTube and Limbu movies. I try my best to help her, to be honest with you, and in the future I'm hoping that I can bring this. In the future I'm hoping that I can help elder people as well, living around in this area. Right now I'm looking for volunteers to help me. To be honest with you, I'm looking for any Nepali young guys who can sort of help me, but at the moment they all have exams, so I guess in two more months time I would go on do it, hopefully.
How many Nepalese families live in this Dagenham area?
It could be about 13, 15. I'm not sure. I guess 13, 15 people. How many old people? From what I know is probably about 5 or 6. And I think I can handle 5 or 6 alone. But if I get more volunteers, then I can tag along more people. But that's my planning. Let's see what happens with that.
So you are always connected with your own, apart from your family and your grandparents, you would like to more work into the community as well?
Yes, I would like to give a little bit to my community as well, yes.
Do you ever think to contact local resources?
No. I have done zero research in this field. It's a new idea that's come to me like all of a sudden, but I want to actually find the right kind of guys, right kind of young people who is willing to give in some time. I've contacted few I know, all of them just don't seem to care. Regardless of people helping me or not, I will go ahead with this little project. If I can get about 3 or 4 people, just take them to a park once a week, doesn't really matter. And then maybe I can influence like my uncles or whoever they know, to influence their sons to come along with me. That is the sort of way I'm trying to go through at the moment. I have not looked for any resources yet, no.
In UK, for elderly people, they do have lots of projects like elderly club kind of things. I think you should contact in the local Dagenham borough.
I thought about the clubs, but then at the moment, what sort of becomes a big boundary again is the language. If I can't find anyone who can speak Nepali, any British people which can speak Nepali, what is the point of me taking them to the club, and then they won't be able to communicate with the older ladies of there, and older ladies of British people cannot be communicating with them. So I was thinking, if I start going through this, I know it's a big step, but if I could teach a little bit of English to these old people, like simple things such as the address where they live in, just in case some accident happens, and then they are nowhere to have, they just say, I need medicine, address, this, so that people can actually help them, and teach them maybe how to travel a little bit, because right now they're only stuck at home, mainly because sons and daughters are more busy with their work life, is in their new place. So it's that thing I want to go into, but once again, it's just a new idea that's coming to me. I want to find young people who can sit around and discuss this idea with me. That's my point of view at the moment.
Some other parts of England, in a particular Nepalese community, they do have their own youth volunteers, youth group. Do you guys have any youth group in Dagenham side?
No, there is no youth groups in Dagenham side. There are young guys. There are young guys there, but everyone is busy either studying university or they are working. Some of them getting married. Some of them. So it's all over the place. I guess they need someone to bring them together, and I think I could attempt on that at the moment and see where I can go with that. Any help would be appreciated at the moment.
Ashis, what would you like to do when you are free, apart from your social work, from your animal lives, other things? As Ashis, would you like to say something about your...
I'm a sofa bear. If you don't know the definition of sofa bear, is sit in the sofa, watch telly, eating whatever you want to eat, with no one to nag you, drink a cup of coffee, drink Coke, have a lot of sugary stuff, with no one to nag you. That for me is, I think, me time. For me describes the best time an individual. Some people can do whatever, but me, I just like being lazy. Laziness can be bad in some ways, but laziness can also be good in many ways, I think. Because you can do things the lazy way, which is like washing machine invented right there. Or you could wash it with a hand, if you know what I mean. So I guess being lazy helps you a little bit, but that's just me. So.
In British society, perhaps many people know you as a Nepali, or would you like to call Gurkha's son? What is your identity? Would you like to call as only Nepali or Gurkha's son?
Me, I would like to be called Nepali, but then I often think about identity quite a lot. Sort of, because what defines identity? That sort of question comes into me. Is it where you grew up? Is it where your friends are? Is it where your families are? Or is it what happens to those people? Like, maybe if I have a son who grew up here, what is his identity? Is he British or is he Nepali? I would like to think he's British, because that's where his friends would be, that's where he grew up would to be, and I'm not sure, I don't know if I'll be able to keep Nepali, make him speak Nepali as much. But me, at the moment, I would like to think I'm Nepali, even though I'm really proud to be British. Everything that British government has done for us Nepali is, I'm really grateful for them. They gave me the opportunity to stay here, opportunity to study, opportunity to do whatever I want to do. They give me a passport which will allow me to travel in any Europe country. We are all really grateful, I guess. As a Nepali society, we all are grateful with what British government has done to us. As far as the inequality to British Gurkha soldiers goes, it is something of a past, and we must move on. And while they did do bad things, but we must all be forgiven, and we must start a new thing, as they're giving us new opportunities now. That's my thoughts.
Did you ever think about go to British Army? Like most of back to home, those British soldiers, like fathers, they always encourage their son to go to army.
Yeah, joining British Army is one of the biggest pride for any Nepalese teenager that is in Nepal. Why is it a pride? Maybe because their father's gone to British Army, their granddad's gone to British Army, and yeah, I had friends who was always motivated to go to British Army. Maybe because of the lifestyle that they could have, or whatever that whatever culture aspect that is to be it. I personally didn't really want to go to British Army. Mainly because like everyone from my family was in the British Army. I wanted to perhaps provide a different variety in different aspect of I wanted to break that trend really. I just wanted to break that trend a little bit, and that is why I sort of wanted to study, so that I can tell my parents I'm studying. I don't want to join the army right now. I want to be studying, and every Nepalese parents is happy if they say that, if the son says that they are studying. However, coming from a military family, military life becomes also a big aspect of your daily life. I believe they are sort of trained a little bit like a British. Like, for example, getting there on time would be one of them. One of them. Everything has to be done in certain order. Everything is. It's military life just sort of becomes, and at the moment I'm hoping, trying to go join RAF. Air Force is different to army, so I would like to give that a go and say that yeah, we Nepalese people are not just good army, we can also be a good RAF officers. If not pilot, I'm not hoping to be a pilot, but just an engineer officer really.
So we are talking about the army, and we usually call in a typical way. Kun Paltanko. Can you please tell me about your father a little bit, his little bit background?
My dad was in a Signals Gurkha regiment, I guess. I don't know how we said that. I guess signals from Signal Regiment. What his job would be perhaps to send signals here and there. Don't really know what kind of work he really got into in his army life. He wouldn't. I don't think he like sharing that either. It's completely. That's all I know really. It's just from Signal government. Yeah.
Do you know his army number?
Yeah. He made me memorize it a lot, but I still haven't memorized it. I still do not know his army number, no.
But he must memorize his name though.
yeah, his name of course. But his army number and everything that's got to do with that.
And what is his name?
Hari Limbu. Hari Prasad Limbu, yeah.
It's very interesting to know lots of things from you. Typical Nepali brothers, they are very strict and they don't like to allow their sister to go here and there, talking to other guys. And what sort of brother you are?
I would like to say I'm very strict, but I don't think so she will agree with that. Actually, I don't think so whole family will agree with that. Being my personality, I'm a little bit laid back. And that often comes with a trust. You must trust your sister on whatever decisions she makes. Often, if she does crosses the line here and there, you can shout, you can guide her. But as long as I know that she respects me as a brother, she will always listen to me, even though her voice is bigger than mine in many occasions. But when it comes to serious time, I often get my way through her. I guess I'm the only one who can get my way through her. To be totally honest with you.
Do you have any very sweet memories with your sister? Would you like to share?
Any sweet memory from my sister?
Even fighting memories.
Arguments is normal. Sweet memory would often be that I can emotionally blackmail her. Yeah, I can get my way through by maybe not talking to her a little bit. Yeah, she always got my back. Me when it comes to in front of talking to her parents, I don't really talk back. I'm more of a guy who just shut up and let them do their talking. I cannot stand my ground in front of my parents. It's just, I don't know why, it's just my thing. And often my sister got my back, telling me that he's doing this, he's doing something with his life, or whatever, he wants to do this, and yeah, that is the sweetest part of my birth. Even though it should be opposite, but yeah, my sister's got my back. That's what I'd like to say about her.
Just a scenario. One day your sister come along with one British guy and brother, please support me if parents go against. Do you support for her?
Yeah, no doubt. I support her in and out. If she wants to fall in love with a British guy, it wouldn't be British guy as much, it would be Korean guy, I know that. It has to be a Korean guy. If it was a British guy, I would be pretty shocked. I would say, what's happening over here? I thought you like Korean guys, but yeah, I would support her. I would support her decision. I would have her back on all the way through, no doubt about that.
So that's good. Very interesting. Because although we are living in the UK, but we are always rooted with our cultural value. And how often you help as a son, like you think you have to take a responsibility after my father kind of things?
That is every day. Think about that every day. That is, I think, sort of a the thing that every Nepalese son would be thinking. It is inbuilt in your culture, it is inbuilt in my culture, is what I think every day. It can have some drawbacks and it can have some positives, but for me, just been knowing that I will be able to have my family, that is my responsibility, is what I would like to think, and that's what I will always think.
And you know, there is some people say that it's huge gap between two different generation. What would you say about that?
No doubt about that. There is a huge generation difference. But me, as a young person, you should understand the fact that our parents has been living their life 20 or 30 years more than me. They have a certain way of doing things more than I have. I'm, like, for example, I'm only 25. My mom will be 40, 50. So they have 40 years of their life doing certain things, and I wouldn't expect them to change. I can't tell that person to be different immediately. It's just about taking in whatever they can throw, and you can do whatever they can do, and sort of balancing out the two worlds. But you can't tell someone who has lived longer to change, because it's harder for them. But for someone who's actually growing up, you can take the best of both worlds. That's my thought.
Do you have any other things to say? Do you like to add any more?
Would I like to add any more? Yes. I would say young generations to get more involved with the society. Especially, I think the people who's been educated here, who's studied GCSEs and who's done school life here, I think they will do good. But people like from my generation, I think it's time to build more confidence. It's time to go out of that typical laid back spot and do something about that. Really, that's my message.
Thank you, Ashis. It was a very good, interesting sharing. This is Gorkha oral history. So, anything would like to add about we already talked about the Thank you for your time, Ashis. It's very good sharing with us. This is the last. Anything you would like to tell in the last closure?
Thank you guys for taking my interview. I hope I've said the right things. And hopefully, just thank you for giving me the opportunity to say what I want to say. That's it.